and namaste. Welcome to Asamanya Ordinary People in Ordinate Journey. I'm your host and host Smita Iyengar, and I'm connecting to you from Finland. So today on Asamanya, who do we have? So we have Valtteri Varsalo, who's the CEO of Nodetec, and he is here to talk to us about how easy or difficult is it to start a company here in Finland, and what's the kind of lifestyle you can expect, and how can you actually become an entrepreneur in Finland? So let's not waste time and let's welcome Valtteri here on Asamanya. Hello, Valtteri. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Asamanya today.
Hello, Smith. Nice to hear you.
Yes. So, Valtteri, I was just, while I was introducing you, I just said you're the CEO of the Nodetec, and you've been my colleague for a while, and then you moved on to start your own company and things. But before all these things, and before we talk about Nodetec, before we talk about the company, before we talk about you as an entrepreneur, we would like to know more about you. Like, who can I say is Valtteri?
Well, Walter is 38-year-old youngster who comes from Lappeenranta. It's a border city nearby Russian border in eastern part of Finland. I was born and raised there, and then when I was 17-year-old, I first moved to Helsinki for a while. I was actually a cook.
Okay.
First of all, I was working in Lasipalatti, which is kind of nice restaurant in Helsinki city center. But after 1 year, I realized that that's not my thing. Too hard and too hot place to work. So I started school in actually Lappeenranta also. So I went technical engineering school in Lappeenranta. When I graduated 2010, 11, in between, I moved back to Helsinki again. I started working in Finnmap Consulting, where actually we used to work together also.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And then Speko bought this Finnmap Consulting in 2015, something like that.
I think it was Paul.
Oh yes, or something like that. Yeah. And then I was working as a structural engineering then, but then I moved to project manager. I used to work for a project manager for 5 years or something like that. Then came year 2017 and we created the Nodetec, and we're talking about that more later. And what I do on my time when I'm not working, I do triathlon. I work out a lot, but kind of more like long distance, like workouts, like running and swimming and cycling. I used to cycle like every summer all over the Finland. I have like a goal that I need to make one over 300 kilometers cycling somewhere in Finland for summer.
Wow.
Last summer it was from Helsinki to Jyväskylä, which is 325 kilometers. This summer I haven't decided yet where I'm going to do it, but it's coming up.
All right.
Yeah,
and
I have
yeah. Yeah, is it like you just bike or you kind of is it a bike car combo or just bike through?
Just bike. I just take my bicycle and I cycle somewhere.
Wow.
Of course, I have some distance somewhere where I'm going, but I just take a bicycle and cycle somewhere.
Right. So
that's kind of passion. I really love cycling.
Yes, and it's now almost summer is coming here. It's spring, and we can see many people interested in the cycling activity. And for people who are watching us from outside of Finland, this is a very unique thing here in Finland. And like you can see people with all ages, like so really small kids to about really old people. They really love to cycle, and this bike is like really a very cool activity during the summers.
It is. My boy is 3-year-old and he cycles already, so he knows how to use bicycle. And it's like whole family's like hobby. Everybody cycles, like mostly everybody cycles. And nowadays it's getting even more popular.
Yeah.
And it's easy way to go anywhere. So we have like quite nice roads and quite safe roads for cycling, especially in the cities. We have like own roads even for cycling. But yeah, I like it a lot. And yeah, like I said, there's one 3-year-old boy, but there's also like 1.5-year-old boy home. So I have 2 kids and a wife who's not my wife, but he's my, I don't know, we're not married, but he's like a mom of my kids, or what is it like?
A
Yeah,
partner.
anyhow, yeah, we just haven't get married yet, but we're going to get soon. So I'm quite like interactive. I like I love working in Finland, but I still love more even working like remote, not remotely, but all over the world. We have some projects like in actually also in India. We're doing some like high tech warehouses, and now we have some jobs in USA, and there's something coming up probably in Europe also. So yeah, I'm a world citizen, okay, if you can call me like that. Yeah, that's like in a small, like in that case, my life.
Wonderful. And now like get to the bunch of questions that I have for you, Valtteri. So the first thing I want to ask you is like, why or how did you, like get to start this Nodetec? And we'll definitely get to the name also about the Nodetec, but why did this happen?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. Like two other of my colleagues, Patrick Laakso and Janne Helstein, is also like partners. So we actually started talking about right in the beginning when we met in Sweco, or actually Finnmark Consulting. So Patrick is my old colleague from there, and Janne is actually my old student friend from Lappeenranta. We have knew each other for like 10 years now. I'm sorry, 15 years. And Pate, we get to know him in Sweco, so approximately 12, 14 years ago, something like that. But yeah, we started to talk about it straight away when we started working together. That have you ever been thinking of be like art entrepreneur? And we both like were like, yeah, that would be nice, and let's try it out someday. But we talked that let's get the tryout in Speco. Let's like practice all the stuff in Speco first out, so we don't have to do everything by ourselves. And then the year 2016 came up, and we started like talking about like, what do you think? Would it be like correct time to start our like own company? And it just like came out like, why not? Let's see what we can lose. Well, kind of like small amount of money, but nothing else. If it doesn't work out, we can always go back to work. So we like all put something like 2,000 euros per each. So that's kind of the money we like calculated that we can lose. And that was like nothing. I was like, of course, we can lose more if we don't try this. So
Exactly.
then we tried it, we put it on, and actually we quite quickly got like customers and work, and we started expanding quite soon. Okay, we've been working like 9 years. That this is our ninth year actually now going on. But yeah, I don't know. There was a vision about being an entrepreneur, but there wasn't like that straight path that we want to do this and this is what it's going to be.
Mhm.
This is where we're going. We just kind of like decided to start it. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Okay. So now you said that you did not really have to invest so much and you just started off and things. So for an
Yeah.
outsider, for example, like can they actually think about starting like this on their own? Now, there might be like many people who are watching this and this could be an
Yeah.
inspiring story for them to start. Okay, now if I have like this little money, I can start a company. Well, is it really that easy or like practical problems are there? So if you could want to like explain or talk about the kind of problems you faced during this.
There's a lot of like not that good things in Finland, but what is one of those rare good things is that it's really easy to start a company in Finland. So
Mm.
there's like only like few papers, like 2 or 3 applications you need to fill up, and then you have a company. You need to have like that start money, which means that if it's yeah, if it's not like person owned, it's like what is it, Oy in Finland? So it's LTDs or
It's LTD, yes.
yeah. So you need to have like some amount of money, which is I think it's something like 3,000 euros in the beginning, so
Mm.
you can prove that I have some money to start doing something.
Right.
But otherwise, it's like 3 applications in the interweb, and that's
Mm.
it. Then you have a company. It's really easy.
Right. So,
You need account keeper for
okay.
sure to do all the papers for like you need to fill up all the taxes, all the like side side cost, and you need to make like reports out of them. You can do it by yourself. There is like a good introductions in the internet, but it's it's quite heavy if you haven't done it before. And if you miss up something, the tax association will come after you straight away. Like if
Yes.
you forget to pay something, they will get that, like
Yeah.
with the interest.
Right.
So I prefer that get an account keeper. They are really cheap for a small company. They're like only like few €100 per month, and they do everything for you.
Okay, that's actually good to know because many people, like since the services are quite expensive in Finland, so
Mm.
keep an account keeper, people might think, oh my God, I might have to pay a lot of salary to this person to just
Yeah,
maintain the books. So yes.
no, it's really cheap. I would say that. Mm.
Right. So if I have to talk about the challenges, like initially it's like nobody will trust you and give you a big project to work on. So how challenging was it to get customers for yourself?
Like we got lucky. We started the company when the structure business was quite hot. So we didn't have to like explain that much why we are like good option to choose for structural designing. But yeah, it is kind of hard. The most challenging part is still nowadays to get known, that
Yes.
people know that you have a company, your company, what kind of like services you have, what you can do, what is your CV. That's the most challenging. It's still nowadays. Even like Finnish market are quite small, and we are kind of big company as a like structural designing company nowadays. But still, like we go many places and we talk about ourselves. People are like, "Oh, what is this? I haven't heard about you." Like never. It's still like really challenging to get like the name of Nodetec all over.
Okay.
And the other is that trust. That like, do they trust? Do they want to like get your services? Do they want to buy them? It depends what kind of services you are giving. If you're like giving like the whole package for the whole project, which is like in key position for the project. If you miss, the whole project will go down. Then it's more important that you have some background, you have some CVs. But if you're like selling some like support services, which is not like you're probably giving like some support for the project, but it's not like in key positions. So it doesn't matter if it's not working that well. It's easier to get like in some project. If I'm talking about like a structural business.
Absolutely. So yeah, and now we just spoke about the name Notec. So how did you derive
Yeah.
at the name Notec? This is quite interesting. So
Yeah, okay. We actually, that was the second option. The first option was Nodecco, which came from like a node. And like there's a lot of, when you do 3D modeling, there are nodes. It's
yeah,
same with the calculating. If you make like calculation models, 3D models, there are also like nodes all over. So that's the first, that's in the node. Because we're like mostly doing like 3D modeling. We do everything in 3D if it's possible.
right.
And co, when the first option was not a co, the co was like consulting. So node consulting was the first one,
Mhm.
first option. But then it didn't work because somewhere in Spain there was like kind of similar company already because the EU. So you cannot have the name that
Mhm.
somebody else have. So then we drank 2 bottles more whiskey and just decided like, okay, not a tech, let's try that one. So it's like no technology. So
Right.
it's not a tech. So that is not like that like romantic story behind it. And we wanted to be something that we doesn't say that we didn't want to be like structural designing company
Right.
that, because then it will like shrink the services to structural designing. We wanted to be like international, that it's easy to say, it's easy like to write like when you make the emails, and it doesn't
Mhm.
say what you really do. So because we wasn't sure, is the structural designing our like, sure, is it even the product we're doing?
Yeah.
It could be possible that we like wash cars or something. We just want we just wanted to be entrepreneurs. But when then it started go quite well, and especially with the structural designing, so it came like structural designing company.
Right.
Okay, we had focused on that, like of course, from the beginning, but we wasn't sure. Are we like supporting company? Are we going to make like project managing or structural designing or some other stuff? So
Hmm.
that's why we didn't want to say it in the name that we're a structural designing company.
Right. So when we talk about this now, another question comes to my mind that this like the structural designing companies now I have worked in the same industry, so I know that you need like heavy softwares and like which
Mm.
cost a lot for designing, for modeling and printing and like whatnot. So
Mm. Yeah.
these are the I can say the costs that can be involved if you're starting a company for this kind of services, like engineering services company. So did you have to deal with anything that about the licenses?
Yeah, of course we did. And then nowadays they are the most biggest cost in our company are the licenses. That means that what we mostly use is Tekla structures, like you know that.
Yeah.
It's a super expensive. Unfortunately, there's like no competitions on that area. The
Yeah.
Tekla is the less worst like designing tool, but that's the only like reasonable to use. So that's why we're using it. It's like super massive expensive.
Right.
But yeah, unfortunately, that's the only option we can use. So I hope somebody comes out with a new product which is like half of the price, and it still will be like super expensive even at the half of the price. But yeah, I hope someday somebody shows up and gives something like better and cheaper product for this like modeling designing. But
Yeah.
yeah, and then the other is that we're using Skia, which is like calculating program. It's a node-based calculating program, and that's actually they're also like really expensive. The one license, if I remember correct, is like you need to buy it, and it's something like 24,000 euro per each,
Yeah.
plus like the yearly paid like updates, which
Right.
is few thousand euros. So yeah, yeah, they are like the most biggest costs in like engineering company. Those
Yeah.
like licenses for programs.
Yes. So, what kind of expansion plan do you have, Valtteri? Because like you have grown from, you said like three people started it, and now probably how many people you are, and how much do you want to grow, and where do you want to set up your new offices, and what is the kind of vision you have?
Well, our mission is to have like not the biggest but the greatest company
Right.
for us and employees. But of course we need to like succeed that we get some work to do because if there's no customers, there's no company. So our goal is like the most goal is that this is going to be the last like company where I work. That's like the main goal.
Right.
From this point, I will retire in some point. Is it like after 20 or 25 or 30 or whatever years it takes? But I hope it's going to be the last company I work for.
Mhm.
And yeah, now we have 25 designers working with us included.
Mhm.
So, and the turnover last year was 2.4 million. So yeah, we're like a mid-size
Yes.
company in structural designing business area. And where we're gonna be, I don't know. We don't have like exact numbers where we want to be, but I would say that it would be nice to be maximum double of this size. So
Right.
let's say like 50%, no more. Because after that, it doesn't bring any benefits that you are a big consulting company. It just brings you like more moving parts to take care.
Mhm.
And like at the same time, you're like more into that you need to have work all the time for like most of the people. If you don't, you need to put people on the rest or something like out. And that's something that we don't want to do. And that's why we're trying to like grow up organically, where we haven't like we're not going to at this point we haven't been this like considering about buying another company and growing up really fast, really big. We want to like organically grow up and we want to find like those correct persons, like those persons who join to work with us, who want to work with us, and who have some kind of passion for structural designing.
Right.
And maybe in 10 years, we are in the goal like 30, 40, 50 persons working in Finland, but also in somewhere else. I I can say that we've been trying to like reach up some like other countries like UK. We've been trying to figure out if there's some possibilities to like have project over there or even have like own office over there.
Right.
That's like our first goal. Another place is Sweden, but at the moment the Swedish market is as low as Finnish market. So
Right.
we haven't been like we're not going to there. We're not going to be there like soon. So let's say the UK is the most like common place we're going to be if we are like going for But actually, we cooperate with this is it ICA, this Indian, this Amit Gupta is actually the CEO of that company.
All right.
Yeah, so we're actually cooperating with them at the moment. So we're trying to find out like international projects from like actually from also from India, but
Right.
also in Estonia, Italy, probably Saudi Arabia, some other places. Yeah, so we've been talking like quite a lot of times that let's figure out, can we find out like some project we can support them and they can support us. So we are already cooperating with Indian company.
Nice to know that. And
Yeah.
yeah, especially because I'm from the Indian origin, so it's actually kind of
Mm.
interesting to know that Finnish companies are collaborating or like contacting
Yeah.
Indian companies this way. So it's kind of nice for me to. It's a good feeling for me as well. So
Yeah.
because I can closely connect with both the countries, and both the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I would say that Indian and Finnish culture is quite same. There is not that big differences, I would say. The humor is kind of the same. We both like, I don't know. It's easier. It's even I'm talking with you or Amit or some other like
Right.
Indian origin person. Like it feels like that we're from the same country, but we're speaking different languages. So
Yeah.
it's kind of the same. It's not the same with all the countries. It's definitely not.
Right. So now, if I have to ask you, Valtteri, that what kind of business would you also like to add along with the structural engineering? Because of course, I understand that your expertise is probably here, but if you would like to add something more to the service company or the service industry, then what could it be?
I think we're considering like project management. That's the more like easier or like it's kind of like it's easy like
Mm.
part of uh, construction designing business because like the managing it's like the construction designers are like general engineers of the project. They kind of know a little bit about electricity. They know a little bit about HVAC designing. They know a little bit about everything about like geotechnical stuff. And like we have one person actually doing project managing at the moment because of our customers have been asking, can you guys take over this project managing stuff over here and over there? And now one of the persons who'll be working with that is kind of full packed with the project managing work. So we'll be considering if we should like have someone who is like working with the project managing. So let's say that's kind of the next step if from the box of structural design. Maybe the project managing is the next thing we're trying to do.
Yes.
Let's
So
say that.
yeah, could it be also, something like in the same construction industry, for example, interior designing or talotechnica, like the housing design?
Mm.
No.
No. We don't get along with electricity or HVAC designers. We're like,
Yeah.
it doesn't work. Yeah, we're totally from different worlds. There is a bigger cultural differences than between us, like Indian and Finnish people. Uh,
Because
no.
yes, it's like most likely, whenever I have always faced this question that when I say I'm a civil engineer, then I
Mm.
have been asked questions like, oh, so you also design in the interior. When I say I'm a design engineer, it's always misunderstood to be
Yeah.
the interior design. So, I'm just putting it out here and making things clearer for people to understand. So, Notec, to put it in the layman language, deals with the outside of the building and not the inside.
Mhm. Mm.
So, yeah, Valtteri, now I have to ask you about this. What is the kind of lifestyle if somebody wants to move into Finland? What
Mm.
can they expect from here?
Cold
Than
weather.
home.
Yeah, take a jacket with you. It's mostly cold. Now it's sun is shining, but that's only temporary. Um, well, about the culture, it feels like people are cold mostly, but people are not. If you stop someone and ask, like, "Can you help me?" Mostly people, yeah, they just stop and they help you out with any kind of problems. So, somebody says that we're the happiest country in the world. I don't
Right.
know if I believe that, but yeah, it's probably quite hard to get know Finnish people because we're so closed up. We don't even like meet up that much like other Finns. Like, so we kind of we like to take ourselves like behind. We like to go to forest. We want to be alone. We don't want to get disturbed. So that's kind of make us cold, as somebody can say. We're not like Americans, who's like chit-chatting of everything. If you go to elevator, you cannot stand there without somebody's talking to you.
Mm.
But in Finland, yes, you can. You can go anywhere. Nobody will talk to you. They will give you your own space if it's like possible. So, but it doesn't mean that we're that cold. We're just a bit simple. We're simple and we like to stay alone.
Right.
So prepare for that. What else? If you were trying to like, if you want to try to get like job, if the job is like easiest. If you move to Finland, try to get a job, be like really active.
Yes.
That helps you out. If you just send an email that, hi, I'm that person from there, I'm looking for that job, you won't get that if you don't call the guy who you have been sending that email. So try to call and impress the guy who you're calling that, hey, come on, I sent you an email. You should like interview me. I'm quite good at that thing. So that helps you out. And whenever like Finns like employer, I mean, sees that, okay, this person is like serious. You really want to do this job. Like he might hire you more
Yes.
more than like somebody who doesn't like been doing anything for the applications. But the problem is with Finns youngster, like younger people, younger generation, is that they think that everything will be carried on you. They don't do anything for the future. I'm not saying that everybody's like that. It has been polarized that there are like really active young people and really like inactive young people. But what like the applications we have had from the younger generations, mostly they are like super passive. They just send an email, hey, I'm kind of structural engineering. There's not that much work. Do you have something for me? Like, well, no. If that's your attitude, no, we don't have anything for you. But if you be active, you send an email, call back, try to get like, can I come to meet you? You really should like meet me. I'm really good at. I'm really like I'm into that work. So I think I can give you something more than I take as a salary. So then you probably get to work more.
Right. So when I have to ask
Even yeah.
you, like, yeah, what kind of structures does Nodetec deal with? Now, this probably could be a takeoff or something for people who are actually looking for business with you. So, what kind of structures and what kind of services? If you want to talk about those, I think that's a rip-off for the people who are actually meaning business with you.
Oh, well, actually, we do like all the kind of structures, not like small ones and like housing buildings they are not in our business area, like the main business. Mostly we work with commercial buildings, factories, civil engineering, and like the demanding and super demanding projects. So like now what we're working for in countries like in US and India are like high-tech warehouse buildings. They are like 12 floor high, 500-meter tall, 250-meter wide. So they are like huge.
Huge.
And the one we're like designing the foundation in Italy is right next to the sea. The ground is terrible. They need to pile it all the way to 50-meter below. And there are like also seismic loads, and it's like demanding, super demanding project. So mostly like if you are trying to find like job for like demanding project all over the world, so we're the correct one. And also if you're like kind of customer you're looking for like high tech engineering product or services, then it's us. So like yeah, demanding and super demanding projects. Not, but yeah, if the housing building is tall enough or big enough, then it's kind of our like not the small one, but single house now, then we're not the right company to,
Yeah.
follow.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so if I have to ask you, what kind of expertise does Nodetec hold? If let's say if I'm a customer, I want to come to you. So what kind of expertise does the Nodetec hold to, call me in there?
Yeah. Well, I would say the calculating is our strength. One
Right.
of the most strengths. We can calculate stuff and we can like optimize steel, amount of steels, amount of concrete. We're really good at that. So now in Finland, why the customers comes back in our, like, let's say, door, they're knocking there, can you come back, or can you come also to this project, can you take all of that? So it's mostly because we can like really calculate stuff that the structures are really thin. Because nowadays it's about how many kilograms of steel or how many cubic meter of concrete the project will take, and that costs money. And because like engineering is quite cheap in Finland, I would say, if you compare it to like Europe or especially the US, we're like really cheap, but we're really like handy, and the knowledge, engineering knowledge in Finland is quite good, especially in our company. I would say, of course, our company has the best quality of the designing, structural designing, but yeah, I would say that calculating is our like the best strength.
Right. Right. So if I have to ask you this now, if how do you treat the competitors for Nodetec?
How we beat or treat.
Treat, both beat and treat, because there are like of course there are many in this business now, and the market is not so good. So yeah.
How we beat them is our like quality, and kind of like if somebody sends us email, we will like reply for the email in 24 hours. Or if somebody calls us, if we don't answer, we will call back. So it's funny that it's that simple to keep like customers satisfied. You answer the phone, you reply the email,
Absolutely.
and that's how we beat like our competitors.
Right.
But we don't compete them by pricing. We're not the cheapest like engineering company, but because we have like special designers and we want to pay them like good salary, and it means that we need to like get the money from the customer for paying those bills and for the our salaries. But how we treat our competitors, I don't know, we treat them well. We actually cooperate almost every big companies in Finland, like Rambo,
Yeah.
A3, VSP. We be like cooperating with them in a lot of projects in the past. Actually, the only company we haven't cooperated is Sweco. I don't know why.
Yeah, well, I thought that that should probably be the first place that you could be contacting, but yeah.
Yeah, they haven't asked us anything. They didn't like us that much when we left Sweco. We're not mad of them, but I think they no, that's just kidding. But actually, Sweco has like everything in house, so they don't, and
Right.
they have so many designers in their like in their house, so they don't need any supports.
Right. So if you have to tell something to the youngsters who are just, like coming up for this kind of business, this kind of profession, this kind of tasks or jobs, so what could it be for them?
Educate yourself. That's like the main thing. Educate yourself and find information. Google it. Go watch videos. Go all or be brave and educate yourself. Like work for yourself. Nothing comes for free.
Yeah.
And know that you're not the only person who is trying to go the same path, trying to find the same job, trying to get the same position. You need to be better than the rest. Like the world is full of people, and we're competing the same resources, same jobs, same cars, same incomes. Educate yourself. That's the main thing.
Oh, wow. So yes, so thank you so much, Walter. It was really
So,
amazing talking to you and talking about Nodetec and talking about your life's journey. And here it's amazing. Thank you so much
thank
for being
you.
here with us.
It's my pleasure to talk with you, Smita.
Thank you. All right, so that was Valtteri Varsalo for you on Asamanya Ordinary People in Ordinate Journey. I'm your host and host, Smita Iyengar, and we are connecting to you from Finland. So today we learned what is it to start a company in Finland be like. So I guess you have some inputs here about Finland and about the lifestyle and why is it being called the happiest country for the 8 long years. So yes, So All About Finland is here for you now. And next week, we're going to catch you up with another person, another Asamanya here on the show, talking about their life journey. Till then, stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share it across. Bye and see you next week.